remember everything.
All right, so let's get into the first pack here of Huey Jensen. He's got a Topin Freeblade. Ugh, he opened up a land. That's not what he wanted to see.
Exactly rare.
No. Topin Freeblade looks like the best card out of the pack to me. He's pulling a Conclave Naturalist up. That does look like the second best card.
Sure. Yeah, and remember from the Pro Tour that William Huey Jensen took a lot of Topin Freeblades in one of his draft decks. I remember that.
Yeah. I mean, that is one of the best commons.
So Mental Noting, Conclave Naturalist, Topin Freeblade, maybe Fiery Conclusion, Enthralling Victor.
Yeah, those ones are going to be very worth noting as well, especially if the Enthralling Victors don't end up. So what's happening right now is think about how many things Huey has to deal with here. Not only does he have to decide what card he wants to take, which I think is going to be the Freeblade, but we'll see. And then the other thing is he has to consider those things that you and I just talked about, Kenji. He's thinking, okay, if I pass Fiery Conclusion and Enthralling Victor, one of these is going to skip over. You know, whoever's on his left can't take both.
No.
So one of those is going to make it to the next player. And he's going to keep that in mind then. He also can run some, you know, there's some pretty insidious things you can do. I don't know that it's always worth it, but there's something called the hook and cut. Now, this is something that, again, you're not incentivized to do in a not team draft. He has really had a long time to look at this pack.
He's writing down in his head.
I guess so.
But as you were saying,
he took the Naturalists here. So he's shipping a Topin Freeblade. Now, the hook and cut is where you pass somebody a good card in a certain color and then just start smashing that color and just cut them off of it. Now, these guys are mostly experienced team drafters, and they're probably not going to fall for that. They're going to stay a little more open. But so this is a great example of what we were talking about earlier. Here's an Unholy Hunger. Now, if Huey takes it, then whoever passed it to him is going to know that Huey has it, and he's going to tell his teammates, Huey has an Unholy Hunger.
Pack 1, I passed an Unholy Hunger. Did you see it?
Yeah. Did you see it? Nope. Okay, then Huey's got it. He's in black.
Of course, we do have a Freaka's Disciple also in the pack. After taking the Naturalists, you might be tempted to take that. It's one of the better green commons.
I think if it wasn't a team draft, that's what probably you'd take there.
But Unholy Hunger is going to be the pick.
So what we're doing here, too, is we're going to, you know, if you're in Huey's seat, wow, this pack is not great. My goodness.
Like Orchard Spirit? Yeah.
I think Orchard Spirit's the pick for Huey's deck here. It's a little worse than Cleric of the Forward Order, I think, in general, but what do you do if you're Huey? Nothing good here.
No. Yeah, I think I just take the Orchard Spirit.
I agree.
The Spoiler Spoil is not something I'm too interested in taking.
Same.
Remember, just getting a glimpse of all of the cards in the pack. He doesn't want to take anything too quickly. I know sometimes a lot of people, they see a really good card and they just snap take it, but in a team draft format like this, like we've been talking about, you got to remember what's going on.
That's right. Another thing to consider here, Kenji, that we haven't mentioned yet is that since this is a 6-player draft, the wheel, as we call it, you know, the cards that come back that you've already seen, comes back faster.
Yeah.
You're more likely to wheel cards that you'd like to wheel in the sense that there's fewer picks being in between. You're a little less likely to in the sense that people are going to try to take them from you, but can't do much about that, I suppose.
So he took the Orchard Spirit there. Now, a lot of nice black cards in this pack, actually.
There are. Yeah, there's a Fleshbag Marauder. I saw Consecrate by Blood, which is a card some people like. I'm kind of medium on it myself.
Weight of the Underworld.
Weight of the Underworld. So some mediocre stuff and a Fleshbag, which I actually do like Fleshbag. I think it's decent.
Especially in the green-black deck, if he's going to go down the green route, you can pick up those Elvish Visionaries, have some decent sack targets.
Oh, yeah, good point. It even has sort of the big Elvish Visionary in this pack with the Llanowar Empath, which is a card I'm actually quite a big fan
of. I'm not too much of a fan of that, but after seeing it this weekend, it's been doing a lot of work.
And I draft that thing on. I have at least one in every green deck, and I think it's great. I really do. Like, it draws you a spell a lot of the time. I like Scry 2 a lot. Sure, the 2/2 for 4 is a little bit of an underperformer, but it's decent. And there's Fleshbag Marauder hitting the pile there for Jensen.
He's going to continue down the black path, it looks like, instead of...
Well, got a little signal here. I saw Towergeist in there. Did you see that, Kenji?
I did now.
Boom.
That's definitely the best card in the pack.
Yeah, not remotely. Close. So, what does Huey want to do? There's a lot of blue cards in the pack. There's also a Clash of Wills, which is playable, but not great.
Oh, it's always fine, though. I mean, even if you're on the draw, you can do it for 1 when your opponent tries to play a 3-drop if you haven't done anything on turn 2, you know?
Exactly. Gets a little worse the later the game goes, of course.
And again, kind of taking a mental note of all the cards he's seen.
And again, this is another huge one.
Yeah.
You're passing a Clash of Wills here, right? If, let's say, one of the opponents is in blue. Hey, Reed, did you get the Clash of Wills? No. Hey, and this is like not even trying to figure out exactly who has it. It's just if there's one blue player on the other team. Owen, did you get the Clash of Wills? No. Okay, I'm going to play around that.
And these players have been playing Magic for a long time today and a long time yesterday, so this much information is sort of taxing.
Could be. Another bland pack here for Jensen. Guardian Automaton's the card that stands out to me as the best pick, but yuck.
Not much of a signal there either, by the way.
No.
A lot of decent cards, actually, and Shrouding Mist is certainly very, very powerful. A Bone to Ash, we saw that yesterday during the sealed portion. Huey, of course, playing 2 of them against Michael Sigrist.
Enshrouding Mist was the pick.
So that's the first white card that...
it's a hate pick.
Yeah.
I mean, he might move in on white, I suppose, but the key is he just didn't want his opponents to have that, and there wasn't really anything great for his deck anyway.
Alrighty, this is his original pack back. The Enthralling Victor wield, to note. Alchemist Vial, another colorless card he could opt to take, which is fine. I mean, again, not much of a signal, if any. Alrighty. Yeah, I think the Enthralling Victor wheeling is maybe just the biggest signal for Huey to see, but he's going to take the Alchemist Vial here. Next pack has an Aven Battle Priest, a Bone Dash. Again, another pack that's kind of lacking on anything playable.
You know, most of these packs have seemed weak overall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, part of that is because we are doing a team draft format, so people are taking the best stuff, whether it's in their colors or not sometimes. But also, I just think these packs were kind of weak.
Sure, yeah, I agree. Like Negate, maybe the best card here, Undead Servant, something that I've seen people play in multiples of, but it's just nothing exciting. All right, he'll take the Servant. Fire Fiend Elemental, Titan Strength, Calculated Dismissal. Some actually fine cards here. Nothing amazing, for sure. But
there's some playables in here.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, that late Enthralling Victor might be a sign that red could be open.
Indeed. It is funny to watch this, though, right? Because, like, think about his deck right now. It's a mess.
First pick, Conclave Naturalists, right?
Uh-huh.
And then from all there, it's kind of like scattered.
It's just everywhere.
Yeah.
But that's how you want to be, because normally when you draft, your deck is judged on how good is it? How good is your deck, right? That's the end of the line for it. I mean, there's a you can talk about, well, did you draft your seat well and all these other things, but all you really care about is how good is my deck. And that's not the case here.
No.
You're trying to balance how good is my deck relative to how bad did I make my opponent's deck. That's the key. That delta between those two is the key here. So even if Jensen's deck looks kind of crappy after we get a chance to review it here in a couple more picks, if he's done a good job of making sure that his opponents don't have anything good, then he's good to go.
I think a lot of people tend to forget that in these type of events, myself included, certainly. Like, you're hate drafting more, which is often something you don't want to do. You just
it's the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. You just want to stay open. You want to read the signals.
Yeah.
Maybe there aren't any signals here. All right, let's take a look at the pack now. A few green cards. We saw that Unholy Hunger, that late Tower Geist, and Shrouding Mist was the pick. Just a whole mishmash of cards.
Does he have every color here?
Yes, he
does.
yeah,
even a gold card, even a colorless card. He's got literally everything.
Like, if this were a normal draft, you look at these cards, you look at the person, what are you doing? What's going on here?
Right. You would think this person has no idea what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Yet, we know that he does. Super interesting stuff.
Some of his opponent might be in the same exact situation. These are always so interesting to watch. I love it.
Yeah, it's about sinking them a little further than you sink yourself.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's great.
Oh, it is great.
Battling with these, stitched together monstrosity of a deck and just while trying to balance out, making something that you can at least cast spells, but also make sure your opponent can cast as few as possible.
Yeah. Your decks tend to be more like Screeching Scobs, not Scob Goliaths. You know what I'm saying, Marshall? B+, C? Okay, well, we're going to pack 2.
Sorry, I think my mic might have cut out there for a minute.
Let's see what Huey opens. They're counting the cards now.
Wow, Mark Calderero from our text team, he's our showrunner for this event, tells me that there's 125 GP top 8s in the feature match area.
125. Right. Holy crap. Yeah.
That's not including this event, by the way, which adds even more.
Yeah, okay. 3 for each team, right? Just
God.
I'm enjoying this view. Huey's big, broad shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what do you think Huey's looking for in this next pack?
I don't know. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I think he's continuing going on the same route here of sufficiently bombing his opponents while sort of getting the compass in a direction of 2 colors-ish. Because this is a mess, right? There's no doubt about it.
I saw a brief glance at his pack. Eyeblight Massacre, Anointer of Champions. Another Token Freeblade in the pack as well.
In this pack here?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Now, remember, he's already passed one.
And that was going to the left, though. Mm-hmm. This is going to the right this time.
Correct. Eyeblight Massacre is a good one.
Eyeblight Massacre is very good.
Yeah, I think that's the most rawly powerful spell in the pack. I think the best is a Token Freeblade.
Sure.
But if you're looking for highest upside, I think it would be the Massacre.
Yeah, I agree. It would be
this pack's nice.
Yeah, it'd be pretty insane if you could hook both of the opponents on left and right into white.
The mythic double hook.
Yeah. I'm just passing a Token Freeblade, no big worries.
I think you might be hooking yourself if you get...
well, you can dream. Read the Bones, Blood Curse Knight, Goldforge Sentinel. Gearcrafter.
Yeah, the Gearcrafter I think is the best card in the pack, but I like taking Read the Bones here.
Yeah, that card is just always very, very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't necessarily want to cast it on turn 3 on the draw, but especially later in the game, it just turns into something that you always want to draw. I'm always happy to have at least one Read the Bones in my black decks. All right, next pack. What do you got? Ooh. Flame Shadow Conjuring. Not a very good card, Marshall.
No.
No. Foot down. All right. Fetid Imp, Weight of the Underworld. I can see a Claustrophobia back there. He's definitely got some decent picks.
It does look like he's starting to settle in towards black with the 2 black picks already here, and maybe he just takes a Fetid Imp out of this pack. I think he wouldn't be super excited to pass a Claustrophobia, but I think they're roughly equal. Fetid Imp being a little worse, maybe, but close enough, I would say. I would probably just take the Imp myself.
I agree. Imp has power.
Imp's good. Yeah, Imp attacks.
Imp has power, yeah.
It also holds back 1/1 Flying Thopters on its own without having to, do anything else. That's really good. And then, of course, if you find yourself against a green or white opponent, it tends to basically trade for anything you want. He took Weight of the Underworld.
Wow. That's actually really surprising to me.
I'm shocked.
But I think Huey knows what he's doing.
Oh, no doubt about that.
But I think that Eyeblight Massacre he took in the first pick here for this pack is really lending him down to that, just moving into black.
Moving into black, and maybe that's part of the reason why he doesn't want a Fetid Imp in the deck, too. It dies to it.
Sure. Well, pretty decent pack again here. Maybe
another
not.
Read the Bones?
Yeah, another Read the Bones, a Scab Goliath. There's an Evolving Wilds. Freeka's Disciple even. Okay. A lot more powerful than I initially thought. What do you think about just taking Evolving Wilds? It's always a safe pick, right?
It's not only safe, it's really good.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, your deck ends up so disheveled by the time you go to your deck build that you kind of need to splash something else, and so those Evolving Wilds can actually have a big impact on a draft.
Sure. He ended up taking the Read the Bones there.
Mm-hmm.
Another Weight of the Underworld. Ooh, a Blazing Hellhound. I love that card. Sphinx's tutelage? Is that something?
Could be. You know, in a world where the decks aren't streamlined masterpieces of synergy, the tutelage looks a lot better.
And he has double read the bones?
And he has double read the bones. Good point.
Not only can he find it faster,
I would take the Hellhound here, but I don't know. Without the splash, without the land, it does get pretty tough. I just don't know exactly what his second color is. I assume it's either blue or green, but...
And he took another weight of the Underworld. Remember, he passed that late enthralling Victor, so maybe slightly punished, but...
Ooh, that's a nice pickup for him. Deadbridge Shaman. Jeez.
I think the card's overperformed for me.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it trades with so many of the smaller creatures, especially you don't want to run it into a dragon fodder or anything like that, but the discard's very relevant. It trades up a lot of the time.
It also hits hard if you can keep them off of creatures. It just adds up a lot of damage very quickly for a 3-drop. You don't normally get 3 power with an upside like that, so I like it. I think that card's pretty good. I play it. I never cut it for my black decks, I don't think. It also works well. It's an elf. So
yes, synergies.
Well with the Eyeblight Massacre.
You just have to imagine how the other decks are shaping up, though.
We'll get a chance to see them. I want to remind you that we're going to watch Ben's Stark draft after this.
Yes.
And just to keep in mind, and this is going to be really cool, Kenji.
Fill me in.
Ben's on the left.
Oh.
Huey's passing to Ben Stark. Not right now. This pack's going the other direction.
Sure.
But in pack 1 and 3, he's passing to Ben Stark. So we actually get a chance to see what this looked like from Ben's perspective as well. So let's keep that in mind as we go. I don't want to overload the viewer with all this information, but it will be curious to see. Remember, Huey passed Token Free Blade. Did Ben take it?
Yep.
You know, that kind of stuff. I would assume he did.
And there'll be one more pack that we get to see where what's going to Huey's left and what Ben's going to take from that.
What we should do is, after the third pack, put yourself in Huey's shoes. We've seen all of his picks. We've gone through the decision process with him here live on the air. And try to figure out what you think Ben's in. What colors Ben's in.
Okay, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
And then we get to watch Ben actually draft. I've already got a line on it here.
Sure.
I think Ben is in white.
Okay.
Based on what I've seen out of pack 2 here, I think he took the Token Free Blade, and I think he's in white. I think his other color's red, but I don't know. But if I had to stake my claim now, I would say white red.
Really?
That's what I would say.
Huh. I would say that Ben is probably all over the place. I think he's still kind of.
Well, no, I mean they're all going to have picks of many different colors.
Oh, I know.
But you know, where is he ending? Because they will end up with a 2-color-ish deck at some point.
Sure. I don't think he's chosen his second color yet, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you think he'll pick it in the third pack?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well. But you think he's in white as well?
I do think he's probably in white.
All right. So Ben is on Huey's left. On Huey's right, where the cards are going now, Eric Froelich.
Some decent players.
Yeah.
I really hope that both Ben and Eric are in white, though. That'd just be the silliest.
If he got him.
Yeah. These last few picks for Huey, again, just bare bones of the pack. Nothing too exciting. Again, this pack, he picked up a lot of black cards.
I'm curious to see. Yeah, he really did solidify into black, and he picked up a few decent green commons there, too.
You know, I can as much green-black cards as Huey has, I think he's only solidified in black, you know?
He could be in another color still.
He
that
could
is
still
true.
move somewhere.
But he is going to... Look, I don't know that he could move into a non-blue or green secondary color.
Yeah.
Like, playables are going to start to get really tight. What does he have here? 12 black cards? Something around that?
Yeah, I'd say probably 10-ish.
10-ish?
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think you're right. So, you know...
He might be splashing a tower
getting a little hot under the collar here about, maybe I need to plant my flag a little harder somewhere here, but...
I mean, he has enough on-color cards, but we're talking like Elemental Bond, Touch of Moonglove. that type of thing.
Yeah, these are not cards that you'd like to have in your deck.
What do you want to open for pack 3 then? Guiltleaf Winnower?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I like Winnower. I think I like Winnower better than Priest of the Bloodright, though that's close.
Ooh, that's very
I
good
definitely
too.
like it better than Kothafed, though. I would take any of those.
Well, there was a
With
black
no
card that
complaint.
flipped. Yeah.
Was there? Was it a rare?
No, I think it might have been a Reeve Soul. Reeve Soul? Reeve Soul.
Reeve Soul.
Yeah. But I'm sure he'll pick up enough playables. He won't necessarily hate draft as much unless he sees something really, really scary.
Dude, he's got a hate draft. He has a, you know, the way it's viewed when you're team drafting is it's your duty to your team. That's how it gets translated. You know, it's not just correct strategy, but it's like if they find out that you passed a really good card, you'll get yelled at. Your team will be like, what were you thinking? All right, Alhamaret's Archive is in the house.
I don't think that's a card he's too worried about.
No, it's just marketing as the rare that we weren't sure about. But there is a Blightcaster.
Okay.
He's already got 2 Weight of the Underworlds.
Infernal Scarring as well.
There's one in this pack?
No, in his deck.
In his deck, okay.
In his pool.
Blightcaster it is.
All right. And again.
Or maybe even Blightcaster that is. No.
No.
Not quite.
All right. You tried.
I mean, it wasn't me. I just meant maybe Blightcaster's not quite game here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. I got you. Iroas is champion being passed. So if you're right, and if Ben is in red-white,
hallelujah
that champion,
for Ben.
Yeah, that champion's going to be like, oh.
Yeah. Now, if it comes back, we know I'm wrong.
Sure.
But I've already settled.
Okay. A lot of nice green cards and a Foundry in that pack. Getting a little bit of... Wow, that's deep in green, huh?
Yes. Very.
Even a Dwynen's Elite's completely acceptable, just as a bear.
What about a Fetid Imp?
I mean, yeah, great. I think I'd take Disciple over Fetid Imp, but... Was he going to go with the Foundry?
He will get something back out of this pack if he's decided to be green for the second color.
Sure, yeah.
He's taking the Foundry. Interesting.
And that's kind of like a hate draft too, you know, because you don't want anybody else to get that. Everybody will play that card.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good point. Colorless cards, they go in everybody's deck.
Yeah, I mean,
they're very good. Now, this does, though, put a little bit dent in the plans of, hey, let's splash stuff.
Well,
you know, a colorless land, and you start running out of slots pretty quick.
he didn't take the Evolving Wilds or anything like that, so I don't think we'll be seeing that. Oh, very easy Unholy Hunger here, it looks like.
Yes, Windmill. Surprised he didn't break the table slamming that thing down. There it goes. There's the big slams. Now, he is making sure to keep an eye on it. Again, for those of you just joining us, we're watching Huey Jensen draft, a team draft here. And part of the deal with the team draft is he's got to track a bunch of the cards in his head that he's passing to figure out where they landed. If he's good at it, and if his teammates are good at it. Demonic Pact!
No, he's just got to take the Shambling Ghoul here.
Oh, there was a Shambling Ghoul?
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
I really want to see somebody have the mill deck. There were...
Now, some people, sorry to interrupt you, some people love Demonic Pact. You know that in Limited? I mean it. Like, they just straight up run it.
I don't think he has any ways to get rid of it. He doesn't have a Caterpillar.
He first picked Conclave's Naturalist.
Okay.
Dang.
Okay. So he has one way?
So far. Or, you know, there's another way to get rid of it. Just kill your opponent before it matters.
Fine. He did take the pact.
He did take it?
He did take the pact. And there are multiple Caterpillars going around. Oh my gosh.
Huey Jensen going deep.
All right, he's got a Husk too. And wow, another Disciple.
Another Disciple. Now, do you just take the Husk here because it's black? And you
think
know
so.
you're in black?
I think so. You know what? I'm going to put Ben on white-green.
You got him on white-green?
Yes.
Okay. Noted.
I think that's the case.
You think after getting these Freakish Disciples, he's like, I've had enough of it?
Seen so many green cards. Oh, but what I was saying earlier, talent of the Telepath. We saw the Sphinx's tutelage. Some really late return Centaurs. Huey getting one of them. That could be a sweet mill deck here. I'm not saying it's good.
I mean, you know, I'm looking at Huey's deck, and while it doesn't have the individual card quality that you would hope, it is becoming pretty well balanced. Like, he can kill creatures. He can make creatures.
Okay. He can kill
kind
himself
of
with
all
packs.
I care about. Yeah, he's got a pack too. I don't know. I think this thing, you know, again, adjusting your expectations for the fact that it's a team draft is actually looking okay. He found his lane with black. There's a macabre waltz right off the top.
Oh, that white!
Oh my God! A Topin Freeblade and a Knightly Valor.
Oh, arguably the best common and one of the best uncommons.
Yes.
Jeez.
Just two fantastic cards still in the pack.
And Huey just looking here.
And now both of you and I have Ben Stark to his left on white.
Yeah. I mean,
if he's not, oh, the champion came back. Oh, this looks good for you, Kenji.
Yes, it does. Now, the other thing is, he might be thinking, well, nobody else could be in red-white, so I'll just take.
That happens.
Yeah.
That happens in a regular draft too.
So I'll just take this red or white card, probably wheel the champion.
Yeah, I don't remember what was there a great red or white card in the pack? No, right?
I don't think so. I remember, he passed a Stalwart Aven at some point?
Yes.
I don't.
That pack? Maybe.
It might have been.
Look, if I'm Ben Stark and I'm in red-white, I'm taking the Aven and I'm like, one time.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all these green cards. There's a Caterpillar.
Oh, you know what?
But there's also that Farika's Disciple. You want to join the red-white train with me over here,
Ben
buddy?
might not be on green because
I still got room for you.
There were most of these green cards, were the good green cards when Huey passed this pack.
Oh, train left the station. Sorry. Your green-white train will be here shortly. We both could be totally wrong. I mean, a red-white card just came around. But the cool part is, for those of you, again, just joining, we're going to watch Ben Stark draft right after this.
Yes.
So when we're done here, we get to watch, we get to find out.
He's going to be completely opposite from where we are,
Who's right? Kenji? Me? Or neither of us? All very viable options.
I want to mention that Huey did pick up that Caterpillar.
Yep.
You know what that does?
Oh, he's in.
No, it kills the pack.
Yeah. He's packing it up hardcore. Did you know that in day one, yesterday, Shaheen Sarani had 2 demonic packs in his deck and ran both?
Somebody told me somebody had 2 packs.
It was Shaheen.
I didn't believe it.
He showed me.
Oh.
He had 2 packs in play on 3 separate occasions yesterday.
Moly. Do you know how many times he went to mode 4?
He didn't tell me that part.
Okay.
I don't know. But his team was X1, so I assume not too often.
All right.
All right, and this is looks like it's going to do it here for this draft. There's maybe a pick left or something, but William Huey Jensen, like I said, I kind of like how this ended up. It's funny to say that, right?
Yeah.
Because this wasn't a good draft by normal draft standards, but I think by team draft standards, it actually was.
Sure.